Hi, this is Blade, Bob Maslin from the HomeSeer message board, and today I wanted to talk about BLTVGuide for HomeSeer 3. Plugin that allows you to integrate your Schedules Direct accounts um, into HomeSeer 3, so you can view your TV shows and whatnot. Requires a Schedules Direct account, so it's pretty cheap. It's when you sign up, you get a 7-day free trial, so you'll be able to try it out, see if you like it. Otherwise, it's $25 per year, which is a fairly good deal. You're getting a lot of data from it. So once you have an account in Schedules Direct, you will install the plugin from the HomeSeer updater. Once installed, you'll have to add an account, which will be your user ID, your Schedules Direct user ID that you just created, and your password. Password gets encrypted in the configuration file. Country code. These are the countries I've added so far. Pick your country. If it's not there, let me know. And your postal code or zip code. Put it in. Click add. What you'll get is it'll take a few seconds to initialize the account. So once you've done that, you want to go into lineups, and you need to add a lineup. So you click add new. So it'll list all the lineups for your postal code and country code. And to whatever one you want to add, you just click add beside it. You can add multiples. And once you've added them, they'll show up here. So I've added one. This is the one that I use. It tells you how many stations are in it. So the first time you get this and you've added a lineup, next thing you want to do is go into stations. So this will pull up a list of all the stations for the lineup. You need to put a check mark beside the stations that you want to use. So these are the stations. As you can see, I've only added a few here. We probably only watch 15% of the stations, maybe. So put a check mark beside the ones that you want to watch, that you want to show up. Basically, the ones you select here will show up on your schedule. It'll still download everything for every station, but it will only show the ones checked here in your TV Guide schedule. And we'll go over that after. Once you've selected them all, make sure you click Save Stations. That'll take a few seconds. And then once it's done, you can go back to lineups. So the first thing you're going to want to do once you've added the stations and your lineup is you're probably going to want to force a download to be done here. So if you click this, it'll tell you that it could take a while to process the information. It takes about, for one account and one lineup, it takes about 10 to 14 minutes depending on time of day you run it. It can be done in under 10 minutes sometimes, depending on when you want to run it. So I would do one of these downloads and just let it go. It'll take, it'll show up here when it's done, and also when it's done, it will tell you here that it's initialized and put the last program download time, date and time here. So while that's going, you can do other stuff. So let's go through the options. The same in every plugin, there's debug logging. If you have issues, turn on debug logging, capture the issue, and then turn it off and attach it to a help desk ticket on my site. Nightly program download, this is the main option. Basically tells the plugin when you want to download program information from Schedules Direct. So I have mine set at 1 a.m. and every day of the week. You can specify whatever days of the week you want. Like I said, this is the process here that takes about 10 to 14 minutes to download. The number of days of schedule information to download. These are the three options. The first two options are mainly for if you're running this on a phone. So you don't want that much data to come down. But for this one, I want the maximum, so I picked 13. I believe I defaulted to 4. I'm not sure, but you can change it. Download program images. So if you enable that option, the plugin will download any available images for all programs. So that it'll cause extra processing. It'll cause it to take a little bit longer, like maybe a couple of minutes. Not significant at all. So when you turn this option on, if you don't turn this option on, you won't get any images. I'll just show you what I mean by that. So if I go into the schedule, like these are the images here. So if you if you look at a show and you put your cursor on it, it may have an image, it may not. So it might have an image. There's an image there, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2. If you don't turn this option on, you won't get those. Current reminders, future days, 12. I'll explain this in a minute. It basically tells you how many days are going to the future for your current reminders. Program download detailed logging. This just puts extra logging in the HomeSeer log when the nightly process is running. Basically lists out all the stations as it processes them. You really don't need to turn it on. It's more for debug purposes. The email method, you got two options here. If you have BL email installed, it'll list it here. If not, it won't show. But you can use the email HomeSeer option method to email, or you can use BL email. The email from recipient, you just put in your email there you want to be the from email for all emails that are sent from the plugin. There is a default one that gets put there, so I suggest you change it to your email. So let's go back to the accounts. So you've added an account, you've added a lineup, you've done the download of all the program information, you've also set your stations. So once you have that, you can begin to you can actually view the schedule. So it'll actually show you your schedule, and you can pick, you can go out into the future, whatever you want, 9 o'clock. And these will show, it'll show all your programs here. So it'll show the images of all the shows. So this just tells you it's a new episode. This here shows you that it's a reminder. So it's a show that we actually watch, and it will put who the reminder is for there. So let's go through the users first. So you need to add some users in order to add reminders and favorites into the plugin. You need to add users. So I would add whatever, at least one user. Make it the default. The first user you add, the main user, make them the default user. Put in the email of the user. Now you need to turn this on. Email daily reminders. What that'll do is for all the reminders that you've set up and have been assigned to this user, it will email you every day a list of your TV show reminders for the day. If you don't turn this on, it won't do that. So if you don't want it, just turn that off. This daily reminder device is you can pick any device you've set up in HomeSeer. You must already have set it up, and it will basically populate this device every day with your reminders. So that way you could display it in HomeSeer Touch, or you could display it in Main Lobby, whatever you want to display it in. So that's pretty much it for the users. So you got the option to email your reminders, and you got the option to populate a device per user in the plugin. And you can disable the user too, and then he won't even get processed. Let's go back to the accounts. So we'll go into lineups. So let's talk about the search right now. It gives you the option to search for a show. So let's just do a search for The Walking Dead. So it's going to pull up quite a few entries because it shows it sorted by date and then sorted by channel. Every occurrence of Walking Dead in the program schedule. So if you wanted to, and it'll show you the picture here as well for Walking Dead. But you could just put in, the walking and just put contains, and it'll show you everything that has the walking in it, which is probably the same thing. So let's see. Yeah, so here's different shows that just have the walking in it. So hiking, walking, so that's a different show. So you can specify that search. You can specify starts with, ends with. You can pick a show type. All these are together, so it must match all of these in order to show up here. So it's just a search that you can do. And if you add a show that you don't have as a reminder, it gives you a quick link here to add it as a reminder. So that will add that show for this channel and that time, and for this channel and everything for that, and it will actually default to new reminders or to new episodes. So you can add the Good Wife here, and it'll actually add it to your reminders for you, and then you could just go in and edit it slightly if you needed to. So let's talk about reminders. So they are specific to an account and lineup, and you can assign it to a user. So let's go in and add a reminder. So when you do that, you get a list of all the shows. So you can pick the show that you want. So once you pick it, it will refresh the page and then list every channel that the Good Wife is on. So you can pick whatever show, whatever channel you want, or you can pick any. You can select whether they're new episodes only, or if you want everyone, just uncheck, leave that unchecked. Assign which user you want to put it to. Reminder announcement is a powerful way you can do stuff when a show reminder announcement. So if you want to announce this show, you click this, and then you can pick however many minutes you want for the reminder. Pick a speaker client. If you just leave it blank, it'll speak to all clients. You can specify the actual announcement that will get spoken. So this is so you'll notice this has some variables in it. So I set up some variables that you can use. I'll talk about those in a minute. But when this announcement triggers, you can also have it set to run an event in HomeSeer and a script. Pick a script, or you can specify it to run a script command. So you can run all of them. So it won't just run one; it'll run every one you select here. And then it talks about these variables that you can substitute in. So this is the program title. This is the number of minutes specified before the reminder announcement triggers. So that's this number here. And the channel number. So I plan to add more to these. These are the 3 I have here so far. So those are the variables here that I was talking about here. And you can also use those in your script commands. So you could put a script command in here that says this is a reminder that, and then you can put in program title is coming on shortly. So you could do something like this, and it will substitute in the program title into that speak command before it's sent to HomeSeer. So it's gives you the ability to do quite a bit when a reminder announces. So you could have a command here to run a script command in, say, BLTVGuide to send the program title and to send a whole string to the sign to display the reminder. So it lets you do whatever you want. So once you've added all that, you click add, and that'll add your reminder. So let's look at, and you can edit it as well. So we can go back in and edit it. You could pick a different channel. Here you could pick a different user, change the time, change the number of minutes before, change the speaker client. You can change the announcement to whatever you want. For all reminders could be different. You know, whatever you want to do here, you can edit and change, no issue. You can also delete them as well. If you don't want the reminder anymore, you can delete it. So once you set these up, all your reminders, those will show on the schedule for you, like I showed before. Those will show here, right there. So it will tell you a reminder and who it's for. So you can see there's a reminder. Homeland's coming on. Walking Dead's on. So it'll tell you there's a reminder and it's a new episode. Also, you can go into current reminders, which is right here. So this is this will show you all the current reminders for every user for this account and lineup. So it'll show you everything that's coming on, what channel they're on, when they start, a little information about it. So this is just a quick way to see what's coming on. So let's go back and talk about now let's talk about favorites. This is a new option, so I've added a favorite here. I'll edit it. So this is a this is if you're a Boston Bruins fan, You could put in Bruins into the episode title and say that it contains it. New episodes only, any channel, assign it to whatever user you want. Same options for the announcement as in the reminder, so you can do the same stuff in here. It's exactly the same. And what that will do is it will basically, it's an extension of your reminders. So it's just a way to, using keywords, set up more reminders for yourself. So any show in there with an episode title that's a new show with an episode title has Bruins in it will show up for me on any channel. So what that does is you'll see it. You'll see it in my current reminders actually. So go in here and you'll see that I've added hockey. So here's NHL hockey with the Bruins. Bruins are playing. So this is the episode title, and that's what we're looking for, Bruins. So you can pretty much do whatever you want. I've only added so far program title and episode title in there, which is probably the main ones. Most people will be able to get away with just these two, but you can, and it'll basically become a reminder for you. And like I said, you can delete it if you don't want it. So let me see what else we have to talk about. So the support form link, of course, takes you to the forum. Getting started basically tells you how to get started here. So I recommend reading that as well. Maybe even before installing the plugin, take a read through here. It'll kind of walk you through the steps. The help link basically shows you all the help, gives you kind of an overview, shows you the different pages, what you can do on each page. Let's see. The about. So a lot of people don't know that there's a revision history link in here, which will, since this is a beta, once it releases it'll go to 2.0, but for most plugins you'll see a whole bunch in here, a whole bunch of build numbers and revision history of what changed in each release. So that's handy for people to know what's changed. Let's see, anything else that I haven't covered. Like I said, the download will run when you specify it in the options. You can force download anytime you want, or you can force it reinitialize the account and line up anytime you want. Like I said, it's basically free there for you to set up and with it whatever you want. Your reminders, your favorites. Pick the stations you want here, and that's pretty much it. So hope it's been helpful, and thanks for taking a look.